So we got hit up by Lee Jeans to collab on some pieces for Travis Kelce, Lil Wayne, Diplo, 2 Chainz.
Today we're back with another episode. Today's guest is Peter Barrett. Peter Barrett is one of the creators of CRMY, which is a streetwear brand that is starting to take over the world. And I mean that. He puts products in the hands of some of the most famous people in the world. They make some of the most interesting and fashionable products on the market. You know, I'm beyond blessed to even have this episode with Peter. The CRMY brand is just going to continue to grow bigger and bigger. Their products are unmatched. You know, we get into the intricacies of starting the business and, you know, how it's kind of grown and, you know, what is it like to get reached out to by popular brands or popular artists who just slide in DMs. Like, those kind of interactions are something I have yet to experience, but it's really cool to have that experience through Peter and him talking about it. And honestly, it's just an absolute blast. I had so much fun recording this, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to check out CRMY Studios on all their platforms, Instagram, TikTok. Go to the website, see the kind of products they're putting out. They're putting out a new drop, 5/31, so May 31st. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Make sure you keep liking, subscribing. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys like. I want to keep being able to produce great podcasts, and, you know, it only helps with good feedback. And one feedback I will admit to right away is the audio wasn't perfect, but this was a mobile operation, and I intend on fixing it in the future. But as always, it's not going to stop me. We learn from this. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. With CRMY and stuff, like, were you always like into clothing, or like where did CRMY come from? What was the inspiration for it?
Steven came up with it. He went on a backpacking trip out west. Probably sometime 2017, 2018.
Okay.
And he needed to make some money, so he bought some clothes from the thrift, painted on them. Everyone loved them.
Yeah.
So he just kept doing it. And then eventually just asked me to join.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the inspiration behind that. Aside from that, we just grew up always doing art.
Oh, okay.
And always thrifting, getting hand-me-downs from our cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
So always kind of like those two things then like kind of grouped together.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys just literally, out of the blue of a backpacking trip, you just started cooking these things up?
Yeah.
So were you guys in high school then?
No, this was my sophomore year at OU.
Oh,
and
okay.
Steven's would be then senior year, I believe.
Okay, so it was like actually in college. How did you guys have the room to do it?
I mean, he worked in his apartment. I worked in my I worked in my dorm.
Yeah.
And then over the winter we worked in my parents' garage because we were both back in Cincy.
Yeah. Fair enough, dude. That's wild. Did you have a bit of a learning curve?
Oh, definitely. Always.
Yeah. Were you guys just like airbrushing and stuff like that in the beginning? When did you guys start, like, what was your like think about it. So, like, your brother Steven, right? What was the first product that he kind of pushed out? Like, that initial one that was like, okay, this is cool, everyone likes it.
So the first pieces were all like fabric paint.
Okay.
Painted on just like, I think the first one was a denim jacket.
Okay.
Or like an old man button-down shirt.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were the first types of pieces, all just hand painted with a paintbrush. After a little while, we bought some screens and did just some very DIY screen printing.
Hey, but it looked good.
Wash the screens out in the shower.
Austin told me about a time that you guys, you already know what I'm getting at. He just told me you guys like almost ruined a tub or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of paint in the tub.
So what? You just washed it out in the Bicey's tub or something like that?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking
This was
about?
in Austin's place?
Oh, might have not have been Austin. Was it your tub?
I'm assuming it was probably our apartment in OU's tub.
Oh.
I would assume so.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think it was just I did some black paint in there, and it was kind of bleached it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. But I think we got it cleaned.
Yeah, fair enough. So were you guys like pushing it on campus and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, we had a few pop-ups on campus. It was kind of easy to push in that type of environment because it's college campus, so everyone's super supportive. You know a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be involved. So yeah, it was honestly kind of the perfect place to start.
That's cool. And did your brother kind of like? Did you guys go to the same colleges?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So he was in Athens. That's all I can think of. What is it? What's the college?
Ohio University.
Oh, right. My bad. Damn, that's kind of wild. That's got to be a pretty fun experience.
Yeah.
Cause like
that's where I lived with Austin.
Yeah. I remember that briefly. Then he moved home and started working with us. But I guess you guys both moved back. But the college experience, that's got to be something. Well, that and you guys have like actual youthful shirts. You know what I mean? Like you guys actually paid attention to like trends and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like you got good fashion sense. So it just came by honestly and things. But the whole campus probably picked up on that real quick.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So. Damn, man. I can't believe that. You guys literally, I mean, I guess that's how everything, you got to start small. You got to start with the small things. How did you begin to, I don't know, develop your guys' style? You know, like the faces and stuff like this. Like, where did that inspiration come from?
That's always a hard question.
A hard question? Is it a question you can't answer?
No,
okay.
I feel like it just comes from a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Like comic books.
Yeah.
Cartoons. I can't pinpoint like one thing that directly inspired the style overall.
Yeah.
The faces, there's a graffiti artist, Sweet Tooth.
Okay.
Which is actually that dude right there.
Oh, okay.
So he inspired doing like the big gums and big teeth.
Yeah.
My friend showed me him in like 8th grade, and it's very eye-catching.
Yeah, always.
So I adapted that into my own style and kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Okay, that's dope.
But for the faces, that's just kind of how I draw human faces.
Hey, man. Fair enough.
Can't draw realistic at all.
Yeah, all right. So, I mean, obviously it hit. And, like, the cool thing, too, is, like, you guys even had your own little, like, drip on it. I mean, CRMY, obviously, is, like, dude, the brand is money. Where did you guys come up with that, by the way?
Oh, Steven came up with it.
Okay.
Just kind of, it's sort of a provocative name, so it definitely catches the eye.
Yeah.
And, I mean, creamy peanut butter. He's a big peanut butter fan. So there's a bunch of different, like, little things that led into it.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. No, I just, and you guys got, like, the drip, too. Like, in a lot of the earlier stuff, I don't know if you guys still keep the drip in, but I remember, like, when I first started paying attention and, like, when you were running stuff through the shop and stuff, there was, like, this noticeable drip. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We definitely still use it, not as much as, like, a main thing.
Yeah.
But on those white jackets I was showing you earlier, like, those had the drip on it. So we play with it.
We dabble. Fair enough. No, I mean, the way you guys have grown has been exponential. So, like, I mean, obviously, like, your Instagram and stuff like that kind of popped. Do you guys have any other, like, socials?
TikTok really popped in 2020.
Okay.
Which I hate saying because that's when everyone...
No, dude, it's when it happened, baby.
Started their own DIY thing.
Yeah.
But, no, we just started posting on there, like, 3 to 5 times a day, every single day.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they popped. TikTok went crazy.
Okay.
Which that then drove a bunch of traffic to Instagram,
mm-hmm.
which then got that really going. TikTok we don't really post on anymore just because it's kind of a hassle making all the videos.
Yeah.
So that's kind of switched now.
Yeah.
Where it's post a reel here and there on Instagram.
Yeah.
As that kind of try to get some traffic on the site or whatever.
For sure. Well, I mean, you got to grow it somehow. I know TikTok's been a big thing. TikTok, I never I tried using TikTok for this thing, and it just always came up with hassles. Like, I got it. My account got permanently banned, and I have no clue. I have no clue. There was literally nothing that even came up to me. There was no email. There was nothing. And maybe I set it up in the wrong email, but I looked and looked and looked, and it was just banned. And it's like, dude, I was just posting like clips from other podcasts and stuff like that. It was cringe. I did not appreciate it. So that was a sign for me. I was like, all right, dude, I just won't mess with TikTok.
You gotta do reels.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've been kind of lacking on that. I've been doing a lot of YouTube, like shorts. Yeah, and shorts has been going wild, you know. And I mean, shout out to like anybody who watches those, but those gave me more motivation. Like the very first one I posted, it was like I got like 400 views, which was like more than any video had even gotten. So that was like that was just like inspiring to me to be like, okay, this is obviously a good format for me to use and stuff like that. But I mean, now like my most recent one, it did pretty well for me. It got like I'd say pretty well. You guys are cooking over there at CRMY, but it's you know, you gotta start out and you know you gotta like build it up and stuff. But the most recent one I posted got like 6K views, and that was like really big for me.
Just gotta feel good.
Yeah, it does. And you know, it's not always about the results. I think it's about like the consistency and like keeping it moving, keep doing it, you know, and keep getting better. Like, I mean, look at you guys. You guys, your first prints were, I won't call them like, you know, you guys started with a style in the beginning, and then you guys have evolved drastically, man. Some of the stuff you guys have been cooking up is wild.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, much of it from that first shirt y'all printed.
Yeah.
That was very simple, like very broken down design.
Yeah.
I think the airbrush really helped expand the style.
Yeah. The airbrushing is really cool, and that's what you guys are so unique with that, man. Like, that's the coolest part. Like, even this shirt, right? Like, you guys made this with your hands. You know what I mean? I think that's impressive. How often can you get, like, a specialty piece from someone? And, like, if you see airbrushing on your piece, that means, like, you or your brother touched it. You know, that's such a, like, quality aspect to, like, buying your product. It's, like, you know, not only am I, like, supporting the brand, but it's also, like, made by the people who make it. You know what I mean? Yeah. You think, like, you know, if you buy like certain mass-produced products, like a Louis Vuitton bag, you know, it's not like, you know, you don't put a face to who made that, you know, you're just like, oh, okay, it's a Louis Vuitton. But it's like, when you buy your product, it's like, all right, I know Pete and Steven put their hands on this. They like worked on it. And have you guys ever thought about like, I mean, granted, I don't know we'll get into that, but I don't know the growth mindset that you guys have with the business, but like, have you guys ever thought about like getting graphic designers involved, or you guys just want to keep it like your style and keep it between you guys?
I think we'll definitely get some artists on board.
Yeah.
We're talking with one of our good friends here, Johnny Sims. He's a great artist.
Okay.
I think he's gonna kind of join the team, help out with some design work. And then working with a dude, a friend out in LA, Martin Hugo, who also is kind of like helping us with design ideas. Yeah. Like developing product and kind of stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I think eventually expand past just us, but still keeping it a very, very close, small group.
Right. Like it's like same ideals. It's not getting too far out to where like we're starting to lose focus and like the vision, I guess, of like how you guys want to make art. No, that's exciting.
It'll always be our style, but maybe performed by other people.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that's important to have, and like, it's cool to have other influences too, right?
Yeah.
Like you and Steven can only do so much.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, damn, man. So, let's see here. You guys start this thing in what? 2019? 2018?
Technically 2018. But I'd say we really started with the style we have now mid-2020.
Mid-2020.
That's when we started airbrushing, and that's kind of when the new style kind of like took over.
Developed and things. Fair enough. And then so now, like, obviously we were talking about the print shop that you guys been going through and stuff, and dude, the products are getting wild, man.
Yeah.
Like,
they're only gonna get better too.
Yeah, they are.
With like better separation, as we were talking about earlier. And with Frank Press getting all the new presses and stuff, they're about to get a four color, like all over print press. So just huge. I think they're 50 by 30 screens.
Yo.
So those will be fun to test out.
Is that what you were showing me earlier? Or is that
That's
another process? Oh,
so
that's
that's
the
their
one
one color.
Okay,
one.
okay.
They're about to get a 4 color, which will be sweet. So yeah, excited to start testing those out.
Yeah. So is that kind of like where your guys' focus has been? Is like almost kind of like pushing the envelope in terms of like your printing?
Yeah, just to expand.
Yeah.
And make enough money to fund making the one, like having enough time to make the one-on-ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to get the customer to value the screen printed pieces, not as much as the one-on-ones, obviously, but to see that they're art as well, not just another T-shirt.
Yeah.
So working on that, just working on getting organized and getting ahead.
Yeah, I hear you.
Which is always the hardest part.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you guys, I mean, guys still like, for what you guys are pushing out, man, it's not like you guys have the multi-million-dollar facility or the crazy like not conference room, but production floor to be able to do all this stuff, you know? Like, I really like that because in a way you guys still have that like hustle and grind culture, right? Like, for instance, like you can be at the house and you're putting out products, you're putting out reels, you're putting out this kind of stuff. It's
in Columbus.
Yeah, right, in Columbus. Like, I don't know, that's pretty badass, and I think that's almost keeps you grounded, right? Like, I think sometimes like things get too not. I mean, I hope one day you guys are, you know, got that kind of production floor and got that kind of like facility around it. But I think sometimes people get almost too big and they lose like the authenticity and like the culture that they built, right? Like, you get too, like you said, you're going to you might add on some new people and like have some influence, but you're not going to expand to the point where, you guys get lost, right? Like you won't recognize what CRMY is. You guys are still keeping that like foundation alive, and, money and success will come, but, I think as long as you guys like stay focused on that, man, the sky's the limit. I mean, I don't know. You guys are so creative. Holy.
Well, thank you.
Even the art around this place, man. You guys cooking it. Yeah, anyone watching, they're just going to see us like looking up.
These are a lot of friends.
What's that?
A lot of these are friends' work.
Oh, really?
That's my friend Carson's work over there. I mean, that's just a bunch of friends on that. I don't know that dude, but that's a Cincy dude. That middle print over there.
Yeah. Cooking. Dude.
Yeah. The rest were thrift store finds.
Yeah. Well, that's how the business started, man. Even today, dude, you were at a garage sale cooking, man, cooking. No, it's I mean, you got a gift, man.
I got a Blackstone grill today.
What?
Garage selling for $25.
You're joking. Do people know what they have?
It's pretty dirty, so I got to clean it.
Yeah.
But for $25, and they gave me a propane tank, so I'll take it.
Bro, the propane tank is worth it alone, because then you can exchange it and get like that. I mean, buying a new one is like $50, but that's silly. Anyways, not to get too far off the track, but like your thrifting skills and your reusable products. I mean, I remember you guys bringing in like some thrifted shirts into the shop and things like that, and we just printed on those. I forget what design. It might have been that one that.
I think we did get that printed on a few just random pieces.
Yeah. But like, what's that kind of process like? Like, what are you guys looking for when you're going in the shop, or is it like, does it just speak to you? Like,
pretty much anything heavyweight.
Okay.
Like a thick collar.
Yeah.
Heavyweight, thick collar, vintage, like single stitch.
Yeah.
If it's something to get printed on, obviously no stains. You gotta always check the armpits for bad pit stains.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Just anything like nice quality. I think that's the biggest thing we look for is just, is it vintage? If it's not, is it still super heavyweight, 100% cotton?
Yeah.
And like worth it. Not just like a shitty Gildan shirt.
Right. Yeah. No offense to Gildan, but they're pretty shit.
Right. Except the vintage ones.
Except the vintage.
They do have nice ones.
Oh, do they have like a vintage line?
They're old, like just their stuff from like early 2000s isn't that bad.
Okay.
Their blanks were a little heavier back then.
I see. It's just nowadays they're like...
They're just cheap.
They're just cheap. It's brutal, man. It's hard out here to make a good t-shirt. Who would have thought? Shit, man. So you guys have like a dream board or anything? You guys got like any plans coming up soon?
Coming up right now, we need to get back out to LA.
Okay. What's out there?
Our 2 cousins are out there.
Okay.
So we just need to link back up with them. And then just a bunch of other people that we've connected with online but haven't officially met in person.
Yeah.
So we need to go out there and make those actual connections.
Yeah.
Trying to do some pop-ups this summer.
Yeah.
But long-term goal is just getting super ahead on these collections.
Yeah.
Be nice to get like 3 months ahead, which I think we're trying to do right now. We have 2 collections completely done. We're working on the 3rd and 4th right now. But long-term goals?
Yeah.
I would say, for me, move out of Ohio.
Yeah, rule number 1, move out of Ohio.
Just getting organized. That's it.
Fair enough. Just
organize, get ahead, and move out of Ohio. And save a lot of money.
And save a lot of money. You can't beat that, man. Is LA the destination? Is that like where you would ideally move to?
Nah.
Nah.
Just because you'd spend so much money living there.
Yeah.
I'd prefer somewhere out west, just because the weather's nicer.
Yeah.
But I like a quiet place to live, as you can see.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd like living in LA.
Yeah.
But I do think living somewhere near a big city like that, at least a shorter, like you could drive there.
Yeah.
Or take a short plane ride there.
Yeah.
As opposed to like being in Ohio and having to get out there.
Yeah.
It would be very beneficial to be closer to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So either close to New York, which that's moving into more cold weather,
right,
or moving out west. So
yeah.
I think it's going to be west.
Well, there's a lot more your like in like your connections and things like that. Like obviously, I think of LA, I just think about like a creative culture, a creative mindset out there, right? Like, is that where like a lot more of the connections are? Then is that why you want to establish there? Because I know there's clothing lines getting made every day out of LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just a lot more stuff happening there every day, and that's where you don't want to say it, but that is where the important people are at the end of the day. That's where you can accidentally be in like the perfect place at the right time and meet, like, make a connection that will like set you up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. I guess that is maybe the cost of living out there too. You know, it's like, maybe expensive, but at the end of the day, you might be able to run into the right guy.
There, you got the weather.
Yeah.
You're paying to sit in traffic and just
to survive in your box. I've never been out there actually, so it's not like I have a great interpretation. What I just assume about LA is kind of just what people say about it, right? Like culturally.
That's what it's like.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I think it would be cool, especially meeting the right people. The clothing line and stuff would build up, but I think you guys already have like a good plan. Like you guys have already grown exponentially, and like, dude, we gotta talk about this because this is wild to me. But like, when you guys drop on Instagram, what's the Instagram at? Is it just at like CRMY?
Oh yeah,
CRMY.
CRMY.studios.
Okay, but like when you guys put on, I'll never forget. I like was scrolling through Instagram and then I saw like was it Jordan Clarkson at the All-Star game?
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yo, bro.
That was really cool.
So what kind of do you have a idea of the celebrities that just pull up in creamy gear?
Yeah, I could list them off.
Yeah, hit it, dude.
Well, what is the date today? Actually, today.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce is having a music festival.
Okay.
So we got hit up by Lee Jeans to collab on some pieces for Travis Kelce, Lil Wayne, Diplo, 2 Chainz.
Yo.
And this other DJ Ivy, who
Yeah.
I was unfamiliar with at first. We've made stuff for... we made stuff for Jason Tatum. He hasn't worn it.
Okay. Yeah. That's for the finals, baby.
Yeah.
Game 7 of the NBA
this
finals.
was last year, so
Oh,
I don't know if that would be the
okay.
case. Who else? We did make stuff for Joe Burrow.
Okay.
We made it for my dad. A guy on my dad's softball team was Sam Hubbard's uncle or something.
Okay.
So he actually, we gave him the piece for Burrow. So if it got to him,
it got to him. If not, yeah.
Who else? There's a few others. I always botch the name. Skrillex.
Yeah, Skrillex. Yeah.
Fred again.
Okay.
Quartet.
Yeah.
We made stuff for their boiler room set at Madison Square Gardens.
Oh, that's
which
sick.
was cool.
That's sick, man.
I don't know.
No, Pete, dude, that's so cool. So when you realize I'm that guy. I was gonna say, dude, that's gotta feel like something, man.
It does feel kind of cool, yeah.
Well, to be able to have that kind of creative impact, when you can have people like that list who are interested in your stuff, that's gotta feel all right, we're moving in the right direction. We have a good idea, we have a good mindset, and obviously, with the recent collab that you were just saying, I don't know what is today.
The 18th.
The 18th. So we're recording this the 18th of May, and being able to get products in those people's hands and have people wear Creamy brand, that's next level, man. When you guys were starting out, what were the odds that you even had this idea? That's shit you dream of, Pete.
Yeah, when we started, I didn't really even think about it again on people. I probably did think about it, but didn't really know how it would happen at that point.
So when you do you just get reached out by managers? Do you get reached out by, like you said, Levi's reached out to you? Is that just?
It's all kind of. It all kind of depends. Sometimes it's stylists for an artist or an athlete.
Yeah. Sometimes
it's them themselves. So Jordan Poole, Chief Keef, they reach out themselves.
That's cool.
DM the account, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, seeing that little check mark, and you're like, wait, who's that?
Sometimes it's managers.
Yeah.
Or the artist relations people for those bigger brands.
Yeah. Would
be for Hooli and MSG and stuff like that.
That's insane, man.
But also it's just through connects as well. So we have a good friend Maddie here. He connected us with the lady from Lee. So the only reason that ever happened was he fucked with us. He showed his friends. Actually, he connected us to the dude in LA too.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he's a dope dude. He's connected us with some really cool people.
Well, that's the importance of having connections. That is the benefit of being able to find people, meet people at the right time, and making sure that they're pushing you on too. That, I don't know, man. That's incredible to me. But when I just scroll through Instagram and I see that, I'm like, damn, man, my boy Pete, he's cooking over there. No, that's an exciting idea that that you can just get your products, and people are interested in your products to be in the hands of some of the most popular people in the world. I
wish I could make double.
Hey, I know, man. I know. Who knows? Maybe soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
No. So
every clone of myself.
Yeah.
Keep it in their airbrush.
Yeah, bro. So are all those pieces are 101s?
All them for those, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just them hey, I have this idea, make it happen.
I'd say usually for those, unless it's the stylist.
Yeah.
Or the artist relations person hitting us up, it's usually just like, yo, make me something cool.
Okay.
And then you kind of just make whatever. Hope they like it.
Oh, damn, man. I mean, you guys have cooked up some cool collections, just in general. So, like, the creativity. I remember probably my favorite line was the university line, where you got that one was dope. When you posted, I'm a Michigan fan, so like when you posted that Michigan one, I was like, brother, like that is just mad sick. And like I think it's so cool. Like I know a little insight into what's coming and stuff like that, but when you think it drops, where do you guys get the inspiration from?
I'd say Steven usually conceptualizes the drop ideas before he was pretty much doing most of them before Martin came in, who we're working with now.
Okay.
He'll shoot some ideas in there as well, and the three of us will kind of decide what's next.
Okay.
But I don't know. A lot of the times it's inspired by what vintage T-shirts we have on hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, we did like a racing collection called Gas and Go, and that came about because racing tees are dope.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very like kind of Midwest culture.
Yeah.
So we had a bunch of racing shirts, and so we did a racing collection.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of collect shirts and then see where the shirts take us. That's how we kind of did it with the 101s.
Yeah.
Now with more of the mass-made stuff, we kind of just pick topics that interest us.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a hunting collection this summer. Do a bunch of kind of like camo-inspired pieces, hunting pieces. We're doing another NASCAR collection.
Badass.
So yeah, just kind of like sometimes we'll do stuff that fits in with the trend. Sometimes we'll do just like a drop that interests us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, pretty much influenced by everything.
Yeah, no.
That's a long-winded answer to that.
No, dude, I mean, I love it. The more that you say and more that you tell, dude, that's more like where people can be like, okay, you guys are so authentic. Like what you just said, like sometimes you dial into what's popular, but sometimes you guys pick what you guys want.
Right.
Most people would just stick with trends, right? Most people would just be like, oh, this is popular. I'm just going to mass produce. Yeah, and you might be able to get more bills out of it, but it's like that's not who you guys are, Like you guys actually have the mindset of like probably get burnt out if you just actually do only that. You know what I mean?
You get burned out just doing your ideas.
Well, it takes a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
So like give me like a schedule, like when you guys are like, okay, I want to drop. You want to be 3 months ahead of your drop, right? Is that having 3 drops ahead, or?
Yeah, so that would be like right now, we're working on like August, September.
Damn. Okay.
Because June, July is already completely done.
Right.
Or even like, for example, Steven at Abercrombie right now.
Yeah.
They're working on spring 2025. So their entire year is already done.
Yo.
So that's kind of how we want to get to be.
Yeah. Well, I would.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, sure.
And it costs a lot of money.
Right. Well, Abercrombie, they got some money, you know. That's funny you say that, but in a way, I think that could hinder them, right? Like being that far ahead. Like if you're planning for 2025, what kind of trends may change? Just think about it. I feel like over one season,
trying to predict them.
Ah.
Right. Or make them themselves, which I think is
That's kind of cool, actually, when you think about it.
Or they're looking at like certain people that have always been known for setting the trend, see what they're wearing. Because like right now, like very Y2K style clothing is coming back in.
Yeah.
So next year, that will hit kind of like the mainstream fashion audience.
Yeah.
So that'll be kind of all next year. So if people start doing it now.
I see. It'll be ready for market next year. Do you stay dialed into like? I mean, obviously you do, but like fashion trends and stuff like that. Where do you?
I need to do a lot more of it.
Whatever.
I'm just addicted to TikTok and Twitter and stuff.
Okay.
So I'll just see stuff on there, but I'm not good about watching like the runway fashion shows, or I'll always look at like the Supreme drops when they come out.
Yeah.
Or like big drops like that. But I definitely can do a lot better of researching that kind of stuff. I should be doing more of it.
Well, I mean, you're still dialed into it though.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what's
I
important.
pay attention to it a little.
Yeah, and Steven too. I'm sure.
Steven does a lot more than
he
I do.
does. Like kind of sounds like it might be his job too. Is like
yeah, definitely his job now. And I don't know. What were you guys?
No, I was just gonna say to see the trends, to like kind of predict what the trends will be. I don't know. That's a task to be able to predict that kind of stuff. I just feel like I've never been one into clothing. You know, I'm in joggers and a t-shirt. You know what I mean? Granted, it's a creamy t-shirt, which makes it very in and very, very saucy. But
right. The phrase on it is very 2020 when I made it though.
The phrase on it?
Sheesh.
Oh yeah, the phrase on it. Yeah, sheesh. I remember. Yeah, what we were cooking this thing up at work. I don't know why. It was a funny one. It was like, yeah, it was. I think we were literally. It probably started with us like making fun of the idea that like sheesh is actually a thing, and like making fun of like the youth lingo. And it was like, all right, I'm gonna capitalize on this. Pete, I need a shirt, man. Oh, that's so funny. Well, I mean, the 101s are just untouchable, man. Like, I think it's the coolest thing that like you guys could produce. Like, to think like, and obviously like, when you buy a 101 piece, you don't expect it to be $25. You know what I mean? Like, you go to a screen printing shop and you ask for a 101, right? Like, Tim is gonna tell you to kick rocks. You know what I mean? And some places will print it out, but most of the time it's because they have process that, okay, you want this picture, here you go. Yeah. But what you guys do, I mean, even with this, right? Like, I couldn't have marked this up. You know, like you guys, I wanted the creativity. I literally told you, I was like, bro, like, I just want this phrase, however you want to put it up. And I was like, just definitely give me some drip. I just remember I was like, bro, give me some drip on there. Because I like the look. And the creativity behind it, man. That's what the 101s, I think, are so unique and so beautiful, man.
Well, thank you.
The gosh, and the amount of time you guys put into it. Like, I couldn't pay you enough to actually go through and one-on-one. That's why I think what you guys are doing is kind of against the trend in a way that, like, because I was somewhat near those conversations when, you know, like, you know, you wanted to screen print at the shop and stuff, and I was hearing Tim, you know, kind of hint, you know, kind of be like, you know, you're not gonna make money off of one-on-ones. You know, like, you're not gonna make money just doing one shirt at a time, because like in his mindset, he made a whole business off of doing hundreds of shirts at a time, right? And I see that, like, what his mindset is, it makes total sense, and I get it. But like, hearing that, I think is a really important, like, what's the term I'm looking for? But it's a real important, like, value to take away is, like, sometimes people are going to tell you you're wrong. Sometimes the people and what's important is, like, being able to still stay on your path. And you know what? Maybe you fail from it. Who knows? But if it's true to you and, like, you see a vision in it, then I think it's important. Like, I think Steve Jobs says something like that. But, like, same with the biggest, like, influencers, biggest creators in the world. Someone thought that what they were doing was idiotic, you know, whether it's building Tesla, right? People, and it wasn't a hit at the beginning. The first Roadster did not sell well, and like it was kind of a meme. A Tesla was a meme, and like I remember,
Cybertruck's a meme right now.
Hey, I know, dude. I thought those were gonna hit. I mean, I'd buy one. I would buy one, bro. Dude, if I had that kind of cash flow, I would definitely buy one.
I saw one for the first time in Alabama.
Oh, Alabama of all places?
Yeah, I actually saw two of them while I was down there.
Bro.
They do look funny.
I mean, I just don't know the reaction I'd have if, like,
have you seen one yet?
No, not in person. I've seen them on, like, YouTube and stuff. But, like, seeing one in real life would probably make my jaw drop. And to be quite honest, that's the kind of car I'd want to be in. Like, you see one of the, like you said, you've even counted how many you've seen. You know what I mean? I've seen Lamborghinis and I can't even, you know, you don't think like, oh man, how many Lamborghinis have I seen? Yeah. And maybe it's because it's a newer car and it's fresh, whatever. But I just love that
it's a creative idea, and like people, yeah, even when it was perceived or whatever, some people, it was hit or miss. Some people liked it, some people didn't. But to even create the company itself and to be able to, like, I want to go full electric in like 2011 or whenever Elon took over that company, because he actually didn't create the company, but he was a part of it. And when he fully took over as CEO, made the Roadster or whatever, and it didn't do too well, and it took a while for them to build up like a reputation.
Right.
But people told him he was an idiot to challenge the car business, and like it is not easy creating a car industry, and like he revolutionized it. But it took how many people telling him he was an idiot before he became super successful. And not that you guys are Tesla yet, but like that's the kind of shit that I respect, because you guys are true to yourselves. And like, yeah, you had, I'll call them old heads, you know, like just some old heads like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm sure it wasn't just him, right? I'm sure there was probably some other quote unquote skeptics.
Oh yeah. I mean, anytime we tell any family members, not our parents have always been super supportive.
Yeah.
But any like extended family, or like even my dentist, I was telling her, and she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do after that?"
What are you gonna do after that? She
just
said
like,
that?
well, I think older people just don't think of like that as being like something that you could do forever, potentially. Yeah. Like obviously that's the hope. Right.
Well, I mean, no offense to your dentist, but she started a brand. You know, it's always people who don't understand, and it's always the people who have no clue. Like, even myself, like I would have no clue what it's like running this business that you have. You know, I can see from a production standpoint, and I can understand like some of the stuff, the processes that you're doing on shirts and things. But outside of that, I should have no area to tell you how to run your business. Because even as funny as it is, God, DoorDash. She did not get you anything. No, I'm kidding.
Hear what you got.
But to the point is like, even though Tim runs a business in the, apparel.
She did ask me if I wanted food.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. She wasn't waiting though. She's like, she was starving. But even someone like him in the apparel industry, he runs a business his way, and you guys are still in the apparel industry. What would you consider your business? Culture?
Nah, I'd say apparel.
Okay.
Like art.
Yeah, art. All right, fair enough. I mean, yeah, you guys put art on shirts, you know, like it's plain and simple.
I guess streetwear, but that I hate. Like I don't like that term, just because it seems so played out at this point.
Yeah.
But technically, it would be streetwear.
That's how I describe.
Like I'd say like fashion.
Yeah, that's how I've described. CRMY to people, because that's just like, I guess when you create, I would almost just say like trendy shirts and stuff like that. Like streetwear is kind of like, when I associate streetwear is like people wearing that on the street. Like that's like what's popular. That's like what's common. But obviously you guys take it to another fucking level.
Well, thank you.
I gotta cop one of those that jacket, man.
Hey, if I have extra.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
get you on one.
Holy man, those are wild.
Let me quickly text her that her food's here.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can leave whenever, and if
I'll
you wanted to go
I'll
take
grab
it to
a
her.
phone.
Yeah. Is there anything that you kind of want to talk about? Obviously, like the whole podcast, right? The whole podcast is all about like
Learning curve.
Yeah, and getting like better, right? Like just that's why like I love the origin story of CRMY, like, and the fact that you guys really were just out there, you know, in dorm rooms, in the house, you know,
in the
just
parents' basement, and then in the. I mean, we've never had a studio outside the house.
Yeah.
It's always just been in house, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Aside from like working at a t-shirt company, working with Frank Press here, we also worked with Pops Printed.
Okay.
Another screen print shop up here. We worked with another place, but right after we got our stuff printed, they ghosted us, which was annoying.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Kind of suspicious.
It was just annoying. I was like, all right, guess you don't want to do any work.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean it is cool because like I don't know, the fact that you guys have expanded into the print shops and stuff, like you can get some pretty cool, dope stuff, and even like the stuff I was showing you with Brandon, like I love that like now you have people who are ready to put your ideas to a shirt the best way possible.
Yeah.
And I think that was something that maybe we lacked. You know what I mean? Because some of our limitations are that creativity, printing over seams, printing over the big prints, right? Like that kind of stuff. That's gonna go wild.
I'm very excited for that. I might drive over there later tonight.
Yeah.
Yo, they stay open late for us. They'll work on the weekends for us. Yeah, they're all really cool people over there.
That's nice.
They're kind of just, they're very similar to this. We went to this place out in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say the name of it because I want to gatekeep it.
Okay.
But it's a really cool print shop. They pretty much, so they print stuff for Supreme, Fear of God, Cactus Plant, all those big brands. They do all the Denim Tears jeans.
Okay.
They kind of specialize in putting art on clothing in a cool way. So the guy that runs the shop right now used to work for Kanye in Wyoming, and basically was just the dude that Kanye would come up to and be like, yo, figure out how to make me a puff print but water based, and I want it to be sprayed over the entire like sweatshirt. So then he would just figure out how to do that in the most like in a mass produced way.
Whoa.
And then he just does it.
No shit. That is cool.
So like a lot of their stuff is like hand stamped.
Yeah.
With like ink and then stamps. They have big presses in there. So anytime you see a brand with very like, you're like that can't just be screen printed on there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times it was probably them that worked on it.
Damn.
So it was cool. It was very cool touring that place.
Yeah.
We'd love to work with them someday.
Yeah.
Once our volume is like way up.
Yeah. Is that kind of like the problem? Like you just got to get more volume? Is that
more volume and more capital
yeah.
to make it happen?
Yeah.
Because in some way, the old heads are right. You can't make money selling one-on-ones. You can,
yeah.
but it's not sustainable. You have to expand into all those things. So in a way, they are right about that.
Yeah.
But it's a time and place for everything. So like, we had to do all the one-on-ones to grow.
Yeah.
Now we can slowly introduce the stuff and expand.
Yeah.
Who knows if doing that earlier would have been better than now, but can't change it, so
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Well, that you guys get to learn from it, right? Like
right.
You guys now have a better idea of how all this shit works. You guys have been at it for 8 more, what, 2018 start?
Yeah, it's like 5 years.
Yeah.
5.5.
Something like that. Yeah. So like, you guys have a better idea of like how to run the business and kind of have a better idea like how you guys can grow too.
Right.
Is part of the journey just trying to grow like a broader audience?
Yeah.
Or just get like people onto your stuff?
Maybe narrow our audience in, I would say.
Okay.
I think we have a very broad kind of a viral audience.
Mm-hmm.
But what we need to really hone in on is like the core people that really love it, that actually buy it, and that want to be like more involved with it and like do more things for those type of customers.
Yeah.
Than just the feed into the viralness of like social media now.
Yeah.
So kind of create more of a community.
I like that. So like creamy diehards, every drop I'm getting a piece.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Maybe they're getting discount codes. Maybe they're getting exclusive pieces.
Yeah.
Or just like little things like that.
Yeah. That's sick. Okay. And like, I guess, yeah, that just comes with like kind of growing the brand a little bit and narrowing the audience. How do you guys plan on doing that?
Kind of just looking at the analytics, keeping track of repeat buyers, keeping track of people that always engage on the Instagram.
Yeah.
People that are subscribed.
Yeah, people are showing you love. No,
yeah.
I get
and
it.
Then show them the love back, that we actually care about them. We're not just trying to take all their money.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I think that's a good it's a good value to take away from it, because like, you know, one of the things, I mean, complete segue here, but it's within that ballpark. One of the big things that Taylor Swift did was like she had mini programs for her fans to stay connected, and it was like people wondered, like, kind of, she was always popular, don't get me, I remember growing up, you know, country Taylor Swift and stuff. She was popular, but it wasn't like what she is now she's an actual icon. And she did a lot of things to keep fans connected, and like I won't call it a cult, but it almost feels like that now, you know. And but it's because she stayed connected with her fans, and it's because she stayed connected. It wasn't just a dollar signs for her, you know, like she cared about the people behind her, and she knew people's. The only reason she was what she was is because it's the people who support you. Yeah. You know, even, I mean, yeah, that's all you can take away from it, is make sure that people who support you, you know, you give them a little love back.
Those artists with those cult-like followings are scary.
Well, who knows when CRMY's gonna get that cult-like following, man? You never know.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Well, like, I think about it, Supreme had a reign for a while there.
They're on the comeback.
You think so?
For sure, yeah. They've been putting out some really nice pieces.
That's cool.
Kind of mixed in. I think they're definitely on the rise again.
That's good. Because I think for a minute, it almost like, this sounds bad, but like when you get too mainstream.
It did. I think yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't really reflect what they first started doing, I feel like.
That was all I heard about, was like they kind of strayed away from, you know, kind of like their OG, which is kind of the problem with what we were talking about earlier. Is like you grow too fast, you grow too big, you kind of lose that initial foundation. Kind of wild. Well, shit, dude. I mean, we kind of crushed it.
I don't got anything else. I can't. I just go off what you're talking. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was just hugely inspired by like CRMY and stuff, and like, I think it's dope. I mean, obviously, I copped a shirt. Do you have
early supporter?
Yeah. Do you have any, like, I guess now I'm talking to, like, I mean, I've been talking to people, like, do you have like any other ambitions, like outside of maybe CRMY, like personal ambitions that you've been working on? Or is it just kind of connected to, I mean, dude.
It's kind of all connected to it. Yeah. I mean, I want to dip more into the fine art side of things. So making like actual big art pieces and doing like art shows with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to host like a vintage show or vintage market at some point.
Yeah.
We have a good friend, Sule, here. That's talking about doing some events here soon.
That's cool.
So it'd be cool to do some stuff like that. I mean, when we first moved to Columbus, we hosted house shows in our house.
I remember that.
So, I mean, I enjoy hosting stuff.
Yeah.
Not really much when it's like crazy involved, because then that's just very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
But hosting some sort of things, I think, would be funny.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, my other hobbies are just hoarding stuff. I'm a big collector, so I just spend all my money on records or random shit.
Well, man, when you get good finds like today from yard sale, dude, I ain't mad at you, bro.
That was a good find.
Yeah. I mean, multiple. Holy. I mean, even the shirt, dude, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was $2.
Yeah, dude, you can't beat $2. You kidding? No, that's good, man. Well, dude, I mean, and obviously, like you just said, you know, part of it is linked to CRMY, right? Growing CRMY, even, you know, getting into the fine arts and stuff, like, that's going to help CRMY in the long run.
Back in.
Yeah. No, that's important. I think that's what can set apart small businesses and, like, just people who run them in general is like being aligned with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you most certainly are. And like, I mean, you probably wake up. I mean, you work for CRMY. You know what I mean? Like that's your life. Like you get to build it up. You get to do whatever you want to do with the business. I think that's incredible. And like, how with that actually made me just think, how do you deal with like burnout and stuff? Like, do you ever have like creator's block or anything like that?
Yeah, every day.
Every day. What?
I have no way to deal with it.
You just what? Just lack of motivation? Just a burnout all of a sudden? Or is it just like after a drop you're just like, oh bro, I'm tanked?
Just burn out every day. Nah, but definitely after collections burned out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
It all just depends.
You just gotta deal with it constantly?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just until it's just because we're not ahead. If we were ahead, it'd be a lot less stressful. But
I see. So it's like, but in a way that motivates you to get it done, right? But then that's what makes it feel like burnout, right? Like because you're motivated by a deadline. You're not necessarily motivated by like.
I want to get this done.
Yeah, and you don't have much time to think of like creative ventures when you're too busy working on shit. Yeah. Okay, I could see that mindset. Well, damn, dude.
Well, that's what we're working towards.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Gotta always have a goal. Gotta always grow from it.
Exactly. All
right, Pete. Now you got to drop. So you got Instagram, you got TikTok. What are those at?
CRMY.studios.
On Instagram.
Same exact thing on TikTok.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. And I'll like make sure to like put it in the description and stuff like that. So make sure to check out CRMY.
The website is the same as well.
Yeah.
Without the dot, just CRMY Studios.
Well, like anyone like listening, just check out the work. Like just check out the artwork genuinely. Like go on their Instagram and just scroll through all the stuff. There's a reason like popular people want this and celebrities want this. I mean, it's not just your normal average t-shirts. It's genuinely handled with such care and like such strong intention to be a one-of-a-kind shirt, man. I mean, even the drops, dude. I mean, you want to be able to tell me that like that's not creative and like that's not authentic. You know, that's what's so cool about all of it, is that you literally you brainstorm it and you guys create the most authentic fucking shirt that you can buy. And I mean, I'll stand by that, and that's why you know, I'm blessed to be able to, you know, even interview you now, because like in 2 years you're gonna be
on the team one day.
Yeah, you're gonna put me on the screen printing team.
Definitely.
Yeah, Tim better watch out, bro. I tell you what, man.
Match your offer, I'd be like,
shit. But
we'd enter a bidding war.
Yeah. Hey man, I'll take it. But no, I mean, seriously, man, I think the sky's the limit for you guys, and I appreciate you for, you know, hosting me. The coolest drop back, or what is that? No, the coolest backdrop. There we go. The coolest backdrop that the podcast has had so far.
So far, is the key.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, one day when you got the penthouse suite, you know, we'll do it in that bitch.
We'll do it on the beach one day.
Oh, on the beach? Yeah, okay. The beach on the backdrop. Yeah, I like it, man. But all right, Pete, I appreciate you, man, and thanks for being on the podcast.